Hi, Rahman. This is session 4, SELinux Troubleshooting, SELinux Administration series, and we are on session 4. So, agenda of this session is identify the problem. That is, get well versed with the SELinux audits. Use ausearch and SELert. Using a very good utility for troubleshooting, that is audit.log. Using SELinux Troubleshoot browser. The setroubleshootd daemon, installation, configuration and working of setroubleshooter, sending mails, testing setroubleshoot functionality, binding sshd on a non-standard port as an example, logging, where to find the logs, how SELinux interact with systemdjoumal, policy, rules and other options. This is what the agenda is. Before I start, I would like to take you back with a missed package name in the previous session. So let's take a look at the package name which is required for SELinux system config SELinux to work. That command was not working, if you notice. So the package name is policy core utils -gui to make it work. So yum install -y policy core utils -gui. That is a package which once installed you will be able to see the GUI part of it. You'll be able to see the system config SELinux. So these packages, these are dependencies. Since we are using yum command, yum has the benefit that it will install all the dependencies before you install the given package, if it is dependent on other packages. So this is the package policy core utils GUI. This package provide that. So once it is installed, we will be able to install, we will be able to run system config SELinux, and we will be able to see those booleans which we were missing. So we'll finish this first so that we don't have any pending topic from the previous session. In the meanwhile, let's take a look at the other command, SELert. If you try this command directly without any parameter, what exactly happens? You will get SELinux browser. So this is the GUI. So when you start that SELinux SELert without any parameter, you will see the SELinux browser, and the browser, as I discussed in the previous session also, that it display all violations because we are running in permissive mode. So permissive mode means that it will allow violation but it will log that, and this SELert browser is a very good feature that it will give you the source process trying to access which file or which attribute and which file. So this is the file, this process is trying to access this file. How to troubleshoot it? You click on it and it will show you if you want to fix this label, then you have to run this command. You need to create this. So default label should be httpd password execute t. Right, if you click on this, you will see the commands also. You can use restore con to troubleshoot this problem. The access attempt may have been supposed due to this. So you can use the restore con -v and the file name. Right, or if you want to relabel the entire file system, that is auto relabel command. So create auto relabel under root directory and reboot your system, but that is not in our case. In our case, this is the situation. So we need to give this command in order to make it work. So this is basically whenever you are into the situation that will help you in troubleshooting the problem. If you want to send mail, you can click on notify admin. If you want to see further details, you click on this. So when you click on further details, you see here the details of the problem. So SELinux is preventing this process from get attribute access on the file, this file name. Plugin restore con suggests that if you want to fix this label, run this command. So do this, restore context verbose this file name. So therefore this is the troubleshoot, very good option of troubleshooting. Now our installation is complete. We can take a look at that command also. So system config SELinux, now it is working because the package was missing. So once you install the package, you will get the GUI also. I have not troubleshooted that error because I'm going to demonstrate this, and we have this agenda is how to troubleshoot that, how to create a policy file, pp file, and how to work with that. So this is the complete GUI which you see. If you go to the full screen, you see a lot of things are here, and we were talking about the booleans. So these are the booleans, right? So all the booleans are listed here. So you can see the same list of booleans, and you can search directly. Go to this is alphabetical list of booleans. So you can find out the right kind of boolean and search in this. Same way we have the status, we have file labeling. These are the file labeling. This is the content of that file which we discussed yesterday, the file context file, if you remember. And this is what we discussed, default T, if you remember that, /star/dot star. All the content of this are coming from that file contexts under /etc config, right? So this is the GUI tool to allow you to work with this. Let's continue now. So this is the agenda. Let's start. Identify the problem, that is SELinux audits. Generally the cause of SELinux related problems are context and boolean settings. Context refer to the policy which we were talking about, and the boolean setting refer to the enable, disable, or allow, deny. Logs are available in where log audit.log file, but you don't have to go and manually check this file with VI editor. No, to decipher or to make it presentable, there are tools available. The audit search ausearch command can help you filter for specific type of problems. Like if you type ausearch -m avc access vector cache, user avc user access vector cache, SELinux errors, ts today, that means whatever today on today's date, as of today, we got any message related to this. -m means message related to any of these violations, show me those errors. That is the ausearch utility from the command line. So to search for a given message, you can now fine tune it. To search SELinux access vector cache message for a particular service, you can use avc ausearch -m avc -c httpd. So -c is used to specify the service like httpd or sudo. Let's try this ausearch -m. So we'll search now ausearch ausearch -m avc -c httpd. So it will show you httpd related issues, and you can take a look at the issue related to httpd. These are messages related to httpd. So time, this is 22nd November, the file name, process ID, and the issues. So you can actually search for a given issue. If you type -ts today, you will get only today's message. There is no message today because I just started the Linux machine. I not tried any access to any HTTP service. So you can search for given service. If I want to search all the messages related to SSH, so there is no match, right? So this is a very good utility to search the log files. You don't have to go and search that manually, use VI editor to search the log files. There's no point. So this is AU search utility. So you can use SELert also, which I said. SELert, optionally you can supply the file name, even though I did not supply the file name. If you remember that, I used SELert and I did not specify any file name, but you can use the file name. SELert application is a command line application that parses the information stored by setroubleshoot daemon. Very interesting point is raised in this point here. Very interesting. SELert is not doing anything on its own. It is just parsing the information stored by a background process which is always running, and the process is setroubleshoot daemon. It will provide us with a set of options to resolve the denial, as we saw in our GUI tool, that is Troubleshoot browser. Depending upon the problem, multiple options can be shown, and yes, it was showing multiple options. And this is what we tried. SELert, we did not specify any file name. Even then it showed me the right kind of thing, and exactly same way it was showing the message. SELinux is preventing so and so file from accessing so and so file, so and so process from accessing so and so file, and the method or issue how this can be resolved. And the similar message was given there also. Similar, not same but similar, like use restore con to do this. If you want to unify HTTPD handling of all content files, then you can use setSEBool. So it is giving you multiple options to troubleshoot. You go through the message carefully and see what best suits your need to your scenario. So Troubleshoot definitely is a very good tool for troubleshooting SELinux related problems. We have even better tool, that is audit.log. This tool or this utility gathers information from logs of denied operations and then generates SELinux policy allow use rules for you. To produce a human readable description of why the access was denied, you can use audit.log -w-a. To view the type information route that allows the denied access, you can use audit.log -a. And to create a custom policy for the denial, you can create a custom policy by using audit.log -a-m my policy. Let's take a look at this also. So audit to allow hyphen a hyphen w hyphen a, audit to allow hyphen a hyphen w, and you see the errors and denial policies. So take a look at this. Type user abc missing type enforcement allow rule. You can use audit to allow to generate a loadable module to allow this access. Now here it gives this clear definition how you can do that. So for that we need the command hyphen a. Let's try first hyphen a, and then we create a hyphen m also. Now this is what it is missing. It is giving me the warning unlabeled t is a base type. Allow httpd unlabeled t, this is the attribute which is required. We can use this fix command. So let's generate a policy hyphen a hyphen m and the my policy. We can generate a policy with this. So now policy is generated. To make this policy package activate, now you can execute. You can use ls command to see the package. You see my policy.pp file is created. My policy.pp, my policy.te. Take a look at the content of this also. Content my policy.pp. This is binary file. TE will be text file. You can read the content, and this is the text file, and this is how the modules are created. So require httpd and the comments. So now we can use that command given by the this utility itself to generate the package, and this will insert the policy into the kernel, and that violation, that denial will not happen again, because the policy is created, policy is inserted, and that is how we can troubleshoot. So if even if there is a situation that the policy does not exist for a given violation, for a given denial, we can create a policy, and audit to allow is a utility which helps us in creating such kind of policies directly, and this is what we did. So hyphen m means enforcement file te with name specified and compiles the rule into a policy package pp. So you will get two files, mypolicy.pp and mypolicy.te. We tried this and we saw that yes, file was created. To install the custom module, we tried -i also, and we installed that sc module -i mypolicy.pp. To configure a single process domain to run permissive, you can use sc manage permissive -a and the package name and the type context name. If you no longer want a domain to be permissive, you can use d for delete, -d, -a for add, -d for delete. To disable all permissive domains, you can use -d permissive domains. What are the domains, how they are organized? We have a session on this also. To understand the policies in detail, we have a dedicated session. So this session is not about understanding the policies as such. This session is for troubleshooting. A focus area, the scope of the session remains how to troubleshoot. If you are getting denial and not even in getting the details of the package which we are creating, not even getting into the details of the denial, I'm not getting into the depth of the denial messages or denial rules. I'm trying to figure out if there is something, then how to troubleshoot it. If the source and target context match, the file context is not an issue. We are talking about SELinux label and context issues. If the source and target context match, then file context is absolutely no problem. By process of elimination, that points the user context as a problem. The UID of the user should be listed later in the file under raw audit messages. If the user in question require access to the SU, and sudo commands change the role with SELinux Logging command, which we will do in detail. Again, a focus is not SELinux Logging command right now. Focus is troubleshooting related problems. So focus is understanding the concept, what the problem is, how can we troubleshoot that. Any access to sudo command will be documented in varlog secure log file. As troubleshoot browser, SELinux 7 RHEL 7 include SELinux troubleshoot browser, which we just saw SELert-b, or without even SELinux-b. By the way, SELert does not work independently. As I said, it just reads the messages created by the daemon process, and that process is required. For that, we require SE troubleshoot server package, and the package must be running. And we saw that it was running. That's why we were able to get the browser and get the denials in the GUI format. Troubleshooting with SE troubleshoot. We did that already. I demonstrated this part. In RHEL, additional tools are present that helps us troubleshoot denials. The tools work together to catch a denial, look for a plausible solution, and inform the administrator about the denial and its suggested resolutions. When used on a graphical workstation, denials can even result into pop-up that ask the administrator to review them immediately. Install SE troubleshoot package to get this support. On the server without a graphical environment, you can use the system logs, or can even configure the system to send out SELinux denial messages via email. So install SE troubleshoot server package to get this support. Let's verify if we have it installed and use this command. So yum install SE troubleshoot server, SE troubleshoot plugins. Let's see that with whether all these packages are installed in our case or not. And after that, we need to verify SE status. So let's take a look at this now. So here we are, SE status. This is our status right now, and let's see now. Yum install SE troubleshoot, SE troubleshoot -server, SE troubleshoot -plugins. We need to install these packages. They are already installed in my case. That's why I told you I was able to use SELert command -b, that was the browser directly, which was started, and it will start again if there is any violation. Here it is. So this is the SELert browser, and this works with the daemon because at the background this process is running, SE troubleshoot server. So that is the point which I was trying to convey, and I already said that it is installed. That's why I am able to get this browser. Had it not been installed, I would not have been able to see this. SE troubleshoot service is controlled by etc SE troubleshoot.conf. So if you want to make custom changes, custom configuration settings, you can configure through this file. Audit. SE troubleshoot works. How it works? As I told you, it is not one complete in itself utility. It is a kind of multiple modules or multiple utilities working together. So how it works? Let's understand. The audit daemon triggers its audit event dispatcher application called audit SPD dispatcher. This application supports plugin something the SELinux folks is gratefully implemented. They built an application called SE Dispatch that will act as a plugin for audit.log. The SE Dispatch application checks whether the audit event is SELinux denial, and if so, forward the event to the message bus service dbus. The dbus then forward the event to SE Troubleshoot application or launches the application if it is not running yet, which analyze the denial and prepare feedback for the administrator. When running on a workstation SE applet, that applet is the GUI pop-up. SE applet is triggered to show a pop-up on the administrator workstation. The administrator can then select show to view more details. The information is available even without the graphical support. The analyzed feedback is stored on the file system and a message is displayed in the system log like this, the way we saw it. So we can then look at the complete explanation through the SELert command as mentioned in the log as we specified. So whenever you see this kind of pop-up, don't panic. You click on show, get the details about that, use SELert command, that will show you the solution also. So therefore, of course, you have to see whether it was genuinely denied, it should have been denied, or it is misunderstanding or wrong denial, which you should troubleshoot. The SE Troubleshoot application itself uses the plugin to analyze the denials. These plugins, through the SE Troubleshoot plugins, look at the denial to check whether they match a particular well-known use case. This is important in order to understand this well-known use case. That means it is something commonly occurring. For example, when a boolean needs to be changed or when a target context is wrong, that is a well-known case. And give the feedback to SE Troubleshoot about how certain the plugin is so that the denial can be resolved through the recommended method. This is a background process. This is a visualization of what is happening at the back end. How these suggestions are coming to you. Sending emails. As I said, we have the configuration file etc se troubleshoot troubleshootd troubleshoot.conf file. So you go to the email section of that file and change settings. So vi se troubleshoot.conf email. So here we have recipient file name which is to be sent on mail, port number, host name, from address, subject. So you can specify these settings in order to allow SE Troubleshoot daemon to send mails to the administrator. Sending emails. Next, what you can do is edit the email alert recipient file as referred to the recipient file path variable, and then add the email addresses that needs to be notified when the SE alert comes up, and then you need to start the daemon dbus service. So systemctl restart dbus, and then working as a non-systemd you can use a service that is old RHEL6 downward service dbus restart. So now if you have configured email correctly, it will start sending the mails whenever there is a denial happens. In production, it definitely is recommended. Good thing is that there is a separate file for maintaining the database of the users to whom you want to send the mail. You don't have to change the configuration every time. Testing. SE Troubleshoot functionality. Bind SSHD daemon to a non-standard port. The file name is etc ssh ssd _config for the server. The default port is 22. Let's change it to 222. So restart SSHD, it will bind to port number 22 with success, but it won't be allowed to bind to port number 222. Since that is blocked by SELinux as a non-standard port for SSH port T port type. While restarting SSHD service, verify ps-aux grep se troubleshoot output. Restart sshd ps-aux grep se troubleshoot. While restarting sshd troubleshoot, se troubleshoot will block it and log the details would be captured, and log details would be captured into var-log audit.log file, and you can use cat command or SELinux command as we discussed earlier in this session. So you can use SELinux -a file name, SEmanage port a, port type P, TCP, and you are verifying port. Oh, this is a typo here. It should be 222 because we have changed it to 222, not 2222. So, and you will get this kind of message. SELinux is preventing user sbin SSD from name bind on this port number, right? Depending on whatever port you configured, and you'll get the message again, same right message. Set SE bool or SE manage port. This is the command which is already suggested by this. SE manage port -a-t, port type P, TCP, and the port number. This is a good thing that it suggests everything. You don't have to really work hard in order to go through the logs, identify them, figure them out what is wrong. The suggestions are coming directly from the setroubleshootd. Interacting with the system journal. Alongside the SELinux audit system, which is used for most of the SELinux logging and events, information can also be gathered through the other logging systems, like system by default system journal. Systemd's journal, for instance, capture SELinux context information with the events and allow administrators to use this information while querying the journal. System journal, for instance, to see events in the systemd journal that are generated by application associated with the user U or user role, user and user T context. We can use system journal underscore SELinux context, and we specify the context. When the bash completion application is installed, you can even use the tab command to see the details. That's very interesting. So you don't have to even type this entire thing. The good thing, you don't have to remember this. You can simply start typing. So systemd systems general CTL SELinux context. You press tab key twice, you will see all the possible options. There is a decent integration between the systemd journal and the SE troubleshoot. When debugging an issue with, say, Apache, we can ask generalctl to show all the events related to HTTPD binary, and it will include all SELinux events captured by SE troubleshoot as well. So tab command will be very helpful. Policy rules versus other options. It is wrong to immediately consider allowing a specific action by adding the new rule. As I said, don't do that directly without understanding, without verifying whether it is actually a violation or it is a real denial, and it should be denied, because there are other options exist and are carefully usually better, such as providing the right label on the target resource, usually the case when the target is non-default port, non-default location, and so on. Switching booleans flag that manipulate SELinux policy to allow additional privileges. Providing the right label on the source process, often the case when the acting application is not installed by the distribution package manager. Using the application as intended instead of through other means, as SELinux only allow expected behavior such as starting a daemon through a service, init script or systemd unit instead of through a command line operation. So these are the options available, and you should consider these options before taking a final call. That's all for the session. Thank you very much.